The Aragon Grand Prix gave us some great racing and a crash between Marc Marquez and Fabio Quartararo. It was a scary incident that gave other riders in the championship hunt a chance to gain some big points on the leading Fabio. So let's take a look at the Aragon Grand Prix and 5 things we learned from it. Marc's manic return. Marc Marquez returned this weekend to much fanfare and certainly gave us action through the practice sessions, looking like his old self as he saved a huge slide and then a low side at turn 17. Crashing in FP3 left Marquez needing to go through Q1, but he failed to progress. Still, starting in 13th, Marc clearly wanted to give us a show on his return, gaining 7 places and ending up in front of Fabio Quartararo at the race start. A slide out of turn 3 caused him to shut the throttle and Fabio to come barreling up into the back of his bike. This left some carbon fibre lodged in his bike, and after activating the ride height device, his bike pulled violently to the left, knocking Taka Nakagami off. It's not the way that Marc would have wanted his return to go, as his incidents with Fabio and then Taka left the field scattering to avoid both, but luckily all concerned walked away relatively unharmed. Binder brilliance. Brad Binder had an excellent weekend. Perhaps the track simply suited the RC16, or perhaps something has finally been found on the bike to add some pace. Either way, from practice 1, Binder looked fast. The South African, like Marquez, got an excellent start and sailed around the outside of a number of riders at turn 1. A podium looked on the cards for a long time, but sadly the South African lost out in the end by just a quarter of a second to Aleix Espargaro. Nonetheless, it was a great ride from Brad Binder, and I hope to see more in the next few rounds. A podium return. Aleix achieves another third this season at one of his best circuits, ending the podium drought that has bugged him since Mugello. He had overcome a few crashes in practice and had to get through on Brad Binder, but on a day where Quartararo had such misfortune and he needed to maximise the points to close in again on Fabio, he did a great job to take the podium, helping Aprilia move back into second in the Constructors' Championship. Another 2023 preview. The last 5 laps gave us a brilliant preview of next year as Bastianini pressured Bagnaia as he did in Misano 2 weeks ago. The ending was reversed, however, as this time Bastianini came past in turn 7 and took the win by 0.034 seconds, ending Bagnaia's impressive win streak. There were some suggestions of team orders at Ducati, but evidently not, as Enea's win this weekend shows. Championship gets closer. It was catastrophic luck for Fabio, as with Marquez's slide there was really no way for the Frenchman to avoid the crash that occurred. It was good to see that both Fabio and Taka are okay after those scary incidents, and the positive from it, at least from the viewer's perspective, is that this title gets ever closer, with Fabio leading Pecco by what is now a meagre 10 points, and Aleix Espargaro by only 17 points. Enea Bastianini also gets much closer in the standings, and is in with a theoretical, although unlikely, title chance. It makes these flyaway rounds all the more exciting, with more than ever at stake for the top 3. This unlucky weekend for Fabio means that we enter the Japanese Grand Prix weekend with the possibility of the title lead changing hands. Quartararo's back is truly against the wall now, and he will have to come out swinging in Japan if he wants to maintain the title lead. One championship that hasn't gotten any closer is the Constructors' Championship, as Ducati takes it for a 3rd year in a row, to no one's surprise. Flooding the grid with bikes certainly improves the chances for a manufacturer, and so the 8 bikes that Ducati have this year meant that it was really a race for second in the Constructors' Championship. Rider of the Weekend. Cal Crutchlow is my rider of the weekend, as the Briton made Franco Morbidelli's struggles look all the more real as he topped the factory rider in the race and in qualifying, and achieved points in the first of his 6 races with the RNF team. It was a great ride from Cal, considering that he had to change from a test rider mindset to a racer mindset, something that is undoubtedly difficult to do. Struggle of the weekend. My struggle of the weekend goes to Franco Morbidelli. To be beaten in the race by Cal Crutchlow was bad, but to lose out in qualifying as well is just that much worse. If there isn't a turnaround in the first few rounds of next year, he may find himself booted early from the Yamaha team. That was 5 things we learned from the madness and excellent racing action we saw from the Aragon Grand Prix. Give me your thoughts on the race in the comments below, and vote for your race rating on my community page. We have the first race in Japan since 2019 this coming weekend, so there will be a preview video uploaded for Friday at the latest for that round. With the championship as tight as this one, the Japanese Grand Prix is bound to be an exciting one, and it sounds like the weather could be a bit mixed as well, so I'm looking forward to that. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye. Goodbye.